Hey everybody, this is Doug with Artfully Rogue, and welcome back to episode 4 of Making a Living as a Maker. In the first episode, we talked about finding the perfect product. In the second, we talked about how to price that product. And in the third, we talked about where to sell the product. Now, I'm going to tell you how to go about shipping that product. To increase your chances of making a living as a maker, you're going to have to sell online. And if you sell online, you're going to have to ship your products. So when you ship your products, you have options. Depending on what it is you make, you may only sell small items. And if that's the case, then I'm going to show you how to ship those small items. And if you sell larger items, at the end of this video, that's what we're going to talk about as well, dealing with large freight companies. Okay, so let's start with the obvious one, the United States Postal Service. You can ship anything through the Postal Service as long as it doesn't exceed 70 pounds and is no longer than 108 inches when you combine the length and the girth. They have an even easier method. They have a flat rate system. So you can choose from 3 different sizes of small boxes or envelopes, medium boxes, or large boxes, and if it fits in the box, it ships for a flat rate price. If what you are trying to ship is larger than what the Postal Service will take, you can go with FedEx, UPS, or DHL. Their restrictions are a bit more broad. You can take up to 150 pounds or 165 inches in length plus girth, or 108 inches in length. But double check, because I'm not sure when you're going to be watching this video if they may have modified or adjusted those requirements. And I do know at the time of shooting this video that residential delivery would not accept anything over 70 pounds. All right, let's talk big stuff. Now, I'm talking about stuff that's either in a crate or on a pallet. And unless you plan to fill an entire truck, the chances are going through an individual freight company is not going to be your best interest. You want to go through an online freight broker. There are several online freight brokers like Freight Center or Freight Quote or Freight Run or Unishippers, just to name a few. In this next example, I'm going to go through Freight Center and set up a shipment so that you can see the process. Now, I should say right now that Freight Center is not sponsoring this video. I am not getting a discount or any kickback from Freight Center. However, I do use Freight Center. I find that it is the easiest to go through and the customer service there is really impeccable. So that is my own personal review. You can choose whoever you want. When trying to get a quote on shipping one of your products out, you're going to have to provide some information on the system so that it can calculate a shipping cost for you. One of those things is the shipping mode. So, as I said before, unless you're filling an entire truck, chances are you're going to be shipping LTL, less than truckload. The start location is where you want the truck to come and pick up the shipment. All right, this is where you're going to be shipping from. Keep in mind, whether you're shipping from a residential address or to a residential address, your cost will be more as opposed to shipping from a business address to a business address. These are big trucks, and so they charge for the inconvenience of driving around in small neighborhoods. I ship from my shop, which is a business address. Many of my clients are residential. I try to encourage them to find a business address to ship to. That way it keeps the shipping costs down. Something else to keep in mind, that if you can't physically lift the package into the truck, you don't have a loading dock, or you don't have a forklift just sitting around, you want to make sure that your truck comes with a lift gate on the pickup, and you'll want to double check with your client as far as their delivery capabilities. Do they have a loading dock or a forklift? Will they need a lift gate? You're going to be charged for that lift gate. Unfortunately, additional services like a lift gate come with additional cost. And speaking of additional cost, your delivery driver is just that, a driver. He's not a mover. What they will do is they'll go into the truck, They'll take your package, get it to the end of the truck, sometimes actually take it off the truck and put it behind the truck. But it's your responsibility or the client's responsibility to take it from the truck or where that driver puts it on the ground to its resting spot. If the driver is asked to move that crate or pallet to another location, you will get charged an additional cost. And while we're talking about additional cost, not too long ago, new regulations came out that say anything 96 inches and longer is considered oversized. And guess what? You're going to get additional cost. So keep that in mind with the products that you're making. If it's 97 inches, you're going to get charged extra. Next, you need to describe the item that's going to be shipped. This is where you choose the type of packaging that your product is going to be shipped in. I typically use crates or pallets. You're also going to be asked how much your package weighs. Now, be sure to include the crate or pallet. For example, if your product weighs 100 pounds and you don't add the crate, which is another 50 pounds, then you're going to get charged for that extra 50 pounds. Next, enter the dimensions of your crate or pallet. The next section can be a little bit of a mystery. You want to enter your freight class. Finding out what your freight class is really as simple as going online and checking some of those resources. FedEx has a good resource to determine the freight class. I'll put that link down in the description. Another one of the benefits of using a broker is that if you don't know your freight class, your broker will help you figure that out. Once you submit all of this information about the package and where it's going and what's in it, you're going to be given a list of carriers who are willing to take it from point A to point B and a list of prices and days it'll take to get there. At this point, you want to select a carrier that best suits your needs and your budget. Once you choose your carrier, you're going to be asked for more detailed information about the contents of your package. You're going to also be asked whether it's new or used. And another bit of a mystery is the NMFC code. Again, there are online resources to help you determine what that is, but if that's too crazy for you, you can always ask your agent and they will help you with that. Once you finalized all the detail, you'll be asked for payment. You submit your payment, you'll get a confirmation email. Once that email is in your inbox, now you just wait for it to process. You're going to get a second email that comes to you with what's called the bill of lading. You'll need to make 2 copies of this. One will go with the package and the driver, and one will stay with you. Both will get labeled with a pro number or tracking number so you can keep tabs on where your package is. Now, that won't be immediately available. Your package needs to get to the local terminal. It needs to get logged in. So you want to give it a good 24 hours to get into the system. Okay, hang in there. We're almost done. I want to talk about the crate for a second, or the pallet, whichever one you choose to use. You want to make sure that you physically write on the box where your package is going, where your package came from, how you want it to sit, say this side up, or fragile. You also want to add on there the bill of lading number, or BOL number. If it's a crate of 2, you want to say 1 of 2. Make sure that you are very clear on where you want that box to go. On your bill of lading, you're probably going to get also a small paper label. I'd be very surprised if that actually makes it to the destination. So you want to take into account that if that label were to fall off, where's your package going to go? How do they contact you? See what I'm saying? Now, you've taken a lot of time and energy to build this incredible product and ship it to a client who wants your product. You need to make sure that you protect it. So build a nice, strong crate. You got to remember, these are just drivers throwing it in trucks, throwing it on terminals, moving it with forklifts, going from town to town. They don't know what's in that box. So you want to make sure that you protect it with everything you can. When you build the crate, build it strong. As a matter of fact, at the end of this video, I'm going to put a link to another video that shows you how to build a crate so it's nice and strong. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. If you liked what you saw, give me a thumbs up, and please share it with friends and family, anybody else you think it might be helpful. If you haven't subscribed, then please do so now. That really helps. Also, if you have comments or questions, leave those down below. I try to get back to every single one of them. See you in the next video.